Hi, I'm Matt Mahler with MovieWeb, and you're one of the best actors of your generation, really.
Thanks.
You've,
That's very nice of you.
yeah, no, I mean, it's great to see you in this. I love the show. It's this really well-structured series that doesn't let its intellectual concept get in the way of the character's honest emotional reality, which is very important. You're great at this. It's if you sort of strip away everything outside of your character and you only look at the main Daniela story, it's almost like this honest drama about marriage and maintaining a family. Is that sort of how you approached it?
Absolutely. And it was the thing that really, honestly, I thought that it could be like, it had the potential to be really fun, exciting show with all the alternate realities. But the part that I loved was the portrait of a marriage.
Yeah, it's very honest. And there are so many subtle distinctions, when you get into the different versions of your character. It was fun to see some of them.
And some of them
How do
not
you
so subtle.
well, blonde hair
I might have
definitely
had white hair in one of them.
look great. I mean, were there any how do you modulate your character that way?
Some of the choices were kind of driven by necessities of the narrative, right? So like there's a scene where he comes and you have to kind of believe that he's made it home, or there's so she's gonna look just different enough that you kind of get it, but not so different that you immediately are tipped off, So factors like that kind of we considered when we were making those choices. Or like a scene where he comes and his wife is really ill, and you want it to we wanted it to feel like this could be his wife. But then there are some where you go, oh, okay, well, this is we need to mark right away that this is he's far from home. So it was fun. And the one that we spent obviously the most time with is the second Daniela that we meet. And that was interesting to think about, like what were the characteristics that she would have in common with our Daniela, and how might she look different if she hadn't gotten married and hadn't lost a child and was still working as an artist and was successful at it. And so it was fun to think about.
Yeah, you really see the divergence of paths. And speaking of that concept, curious if there's ever been a big decision you've made that would have split you off into a different version of yourself you'd be interested in learning about.
Sure. I don't know. I mean, I feel like, the choice, and like one of the choices that I think obviously changed the direction of my life the most was becoming a mother. But I don't want to know what it would have been like if I hadn't, to be honest. It was the most amazing experience of my life.
It's interesting. Did you apply that at all to Daniela? Because that's really where Jason split between staying and having a child or not. And same with Daniela.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't consciously think about like, it's funny, I don't like analyze when I'm working on a character. I'm not thinking about like, oh, how does this woman relate to me, or how do I'm kind of thinking about her. But I think that absolutely we have that in common, and I think that's a huge difference between the Daniela one and Daniela two, for sure.
And there are so many different little details with your relationship with Jason. And how did you sort of work with Joel Edgerton? What was it like working with him to create these different layers of your relationship?
It was great working with him. He's so good, and he's really, open and generous as an actor, and available and easy to be with. And we really, worked easily and happily together, I think. I mean, ask him, but I did for sure. Felt like that. So it was great. We talked a lot. We had a lot of, rehearsals that were sort of like conversation about the marriage and about choices we could make to make it feel specific and not sort of like a generalized marriage. Like, how do we make this feel lived in? Because we didn't have that much time together where things like, where they were good as a couple when this alien version then comes in so quickly. So yeah, I guess conversations and brainstorming together, like things that we could do to make them feel believable as a couple. But I was really aided by the fact that I think, frankly, everything he does is believable. I just buy everything that he does. He has a quality to him, and he's just so good as an actor.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And the two of you work very well together. So it's interesting. I guess 21 years ago, you played a woman in love with a scientist whose experiments sort of threatened to destroy their relationship, and that's Hulk, or the Hulk. Couldn't be more different from this, but that's an interesting sort of connection. The movie did very well, but it was before the whole superhero boom. Do you think what do you think sets that film apart from today's superhero movies, or do you think audiences weren't sort of ready for that?
Can I be totally honest with you? I don't think I've seen that movie for 21 years, so I don't know if I'm equipped to answer this question. I don't know. I honestly haven't gone back and watched it. I mean, so I can't, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm equipped to analyze that.
No, that's perfectly fine. I guess final question. There's also Requiem for a Dream approaching its 25th anniversary. One of the great films, emotionally devastating. What is it like to look back on that?
It was an amazing experience for me. I remember feeling like I fought so hard to get that job. I auditioned so many times, and I was so excited, and I just felt like what a great role and opportunity. And even though the content was really intense, it felt so, there was so much to think about and do, and I felt so kind of excited by it and fulfilled by it. And there were so many people on that job who were kind of like just like exploding with creativity. I think that Darren was like, had so many amazing ideas, and Maddie Lebatique, and the way he was shooting it felt really pioneering, in the music. And so it was a really exciting project to be involved with at that time. It felt like people were making really brave choices, and it was like, it was kind of electric, I think, that set.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you so much for discussing that and this show. It's lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.